Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you will hear the response to Trump's 50 days ultimatum from Sergey Lavrov, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation. As yesterday I said, for sure we're gonna hear from him. So I have a video prepared for you with the translation already. We will also go to Trump saying that Epstein case is pretty boring. And I will give you my, again, personal opinion on that. I will also present to you a video that is showing how the illegal migration looks like, of course, one of those ways, how those illegal migrants are crossing from France to the UK. It's an interesting video and I decided to present this to you. But I would like to start, before we go into news, with actually a news that is also very important. Those of you who have been following me for a long time, some of you, since I used to live in California and Santa Barbara, that's when I actually started my channel. You know very well that I am someone who believes in precious metals and gold and silver. This video is not sponsored. I never had any sponsorship from any brand. But this is my sincere and genuine recommendation of the place for you to look into gold and silver. I know there are many people who are not able to afford gold, but they can still afford silver. And why I'm saying this to you guys, because I believe, and I'm not the only one, following those people who know much more about the markets, precious metals, and other things of that nature. You know, at this point, the price of silver, let me show you, because this is how you can make sure that you don't lose all your savings, guys. I'm showing you the company. I will talk about this company in a moment, but the price of gold and silver, it's right here. So this is the price of gold, 3,350 almost, and silver is $38.06. It actually went a little bit over $39 last week. The experts say, a lot of people actually say, that probably this year silver might reach about $70 or so. But ultimately, they are predicting that the price for one silver coin will go around $300, maybe even $600 per one coin of silver. And why I'm saying this to you guys is because many of people cannot afford 1 ounce of gold at this point. That will definitely go much higher. But you can still buy 1 ounce of silver. And if you do it, and I just want to give a moment for this. I know you come for the political news, but this is also your future, guys. Because you can buy one, let's say, 1 ounce of silver at this moment. Let's look at Buffalo, will cost you $40. And those predictions that silver will go to $300, $600 are actually very, very realistic, because the demand for silver in many industries is very high, and silver has been enormously suppressed by the government. Okay, we know this. Some of you know this very well. Why I'm showing you this company, I'm not sponsored by them, but I used to have the program with them. I'm not sure if it still works. Those of you who live in United States and you want to buy precious metals from someone who is trustworthy and who can ship it to you to US, or you can even store it with them. They have the biggest storage for precious metals. I think they say the second after Fort Knox, I don't know, but this is the family-owned business, very successful family-owned business. One of the best customer services I ever experienced in my entire life, regardless of the industry. I highly recommend you Money Metals Exchange. I will put the link down below in the description box. If you want to buy from them, I really, really recommend you that company also. I'm not sure if that program still works, but I think if you would mention my name, Anya K, you were receiving, I think, half of ounce free. I'm not sure if they still have this, but if you call them, you can mention my name and ask, because I used to have a program with them. I haven't used it for several years now, so I don't know if it's still active, but maybe it is. So then if you buy certain amount, you still receive half of the coin, half of the ounce, half of the ounce of silver, I think. I think that's how it was set up. Anyway, guys, the link will be down below in the description box. I really wanted to bring this to your attention because in a very near future, you're going to see a lot of changes. And I'm not an expert in the finances or economy. I know one thing, that everything is going to change financially as well. A lot of banks will stop to exist. You will have issues with using ATMs, getting cash out. So it's always good to have some cash on hand. And then how you protect your money. I believe in precious metals. That's why I'm saying this to you, because more and more lately I'm coming across those informations about the prices of silver and gold going up, especially silver. So you will have a big turnaround here, guys. Okay. I wish you all the best. So if you can afford it, go for it. Now let's go to the news. Let's start with Sergey Lavrov and his response to Trump's ultimatum. And this is an English AI translation. Let's take a listen.
Sergey Viktorovich, good evening. How would you comment on the new plan of President Trump regarding Ukraine? Is Russia ready to continue dialogue with the U.S. on the Ukrainian settlement and on normalizing bilateral relations after yesterday's statements from Washington? If you allow, I'd like to have one more question. How do we assess the threat of imposing 100% tariffs on our trade partners from the standpoint of Russia's foreign economic interests? Were you able to discuss this? Frankly, it seems to me like the same question, because the statement was specifically about 100%. This needs to be discussed urgently. We never build our line to the detriment of national interests, to the detriment of ensuring the country's security. The special military operation is aimed precisely at fundamentally eliminating the threats that the North Atlantic Alliance had been creating right on our borders. Not for a day, not for a year, but for decades. Russia had issued multiple warnings. President Putin devoted countless speeches and statements to this issue. Unfortunately, he was not heard. This only confirms what President Putin recently said in an interview with Pavel Zarubin, how his and our shared perception of relations with the West has evolved. At first, it seemed that once ideological differences were removed, everything would be fine. Then it became clear that the issue was not ideology, that the West, regardless of what ideology was practiced in the Russian Empire, in the Soviet Union, or in post-Soviet Russia, was driven by only one idea: the idea of geopolitical containment, suppression, or even direct military destruction of Russia, as has happened more than once in history. Therefore, as Dmitry Peskov said, we indeed want to understand what stands behind this statement. 50 days. Before, it was 24 hours. There was also 100 days. We truly want to understand what motivates the President of the United States. It is clear that he is under enormous, I would even say indecent, pressure from the European Union and the current NATO leadership, who unceremoniously support the demands of Zelensky to continue pumping his regime with modern, including offensive, weapons at the expense of increasing damage to taxpayers in Western countries. We have a saying, Don't dig a pit for another. The sanctions that the European Union has now imposed, and those that are once again being prepared in Brussels, into this sanctions funnel, they are now trying to pull in the United States as well. But President Trump clearly explained that Europe will be the one to pay for the continuation of the conflict. All this, of course, has already caused serious damage to the European economy. Sober and objective European analysts, economists, and political scientists acknowledge that the losses are borne, first and foremost, by the author of this sanctions war. An unprecedented number of sanctions has already been declared against us. We are coping. I have no doubt whatsoever that we will cope. This conclusion is also based on assessments and analyses by independent economists and politicians, including many in the West. As for our trade partners, they hear what has been said, but it is hardly possible for them to predict their actions right now. They have international obligations. Knowing our partners, I do not see how they could abandon their independent policy, the policy of honoring the agreements reached both through bilateral channels and in multilateral formats.
So I'm sorry, guys, I'm not sure if you heard it in Russian or in English, because sometimes when I share the video, I hear it differently. Strange, I know, but that's how it is. In my opinion again, the show continues. Absolutely, without any question. 1 second, let me stop this. The show continues because, again, the confusing part. If you look at the face value, you think this is it. Russia is doing the good thing. Putin is doing the right thing. Trump is stupid. Trump is destroying Europe, but it looks like he's helping Europe. You have to really step away from all of it and think almost on a spiritual level. Because if you just use your intellect, none of this makes sense. This is simply, to me, deliberate confusion. And this is, again, allowing Russia to do what Russia needs to do in order to denazify and take care of some things. That's how it looks like to me. The deep state is very deep, and they are losing. They lost already, but they are not going to go away just like, okay, goodbye. They will keep on fighting, even though there is not much they can do. They can still do some damage. So this almost gives Russia more time to take care of things. And it's very confusing for everyone because they don't know what the heck is going on. That's my opinion. And now let's go to Trump. That will confuse you again with Epstein files. So let's take a listen.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
All right, so what do I think about it? Again, deliberately, he is confusing. And yes, he is lying because he knows very well that this case is not boring. Sometimes I think you really have to lie. especially in the case like this. What I think is about those files, I tell you what I think about those files. First and foremost, he's not dead. I've mentioned this before. I don't believe he's dead. I believe he was removed from that prison by not, let's say, Hillary's people, but other people that were opposing Hillary, so the good side. And they took him to some location in which, this is just my opinion, I might be completely off, but that's how I feel. They took him to a place in which he, of course, is hidden. Probably his image has been completely changed, went through some surgeries, etc., or whatever they do nowadays. I have no idea what kind of technology they use. And he was delivering everything they needed to know. And he is still alive and is, as a witness, as a person who can testify that so many people that he was blackmailing, because, you know, this was, again, you can listen to many people who will tell you that he was Mossad agent, he was British agent, and this was the operation to get certain things and blackmail people of very, very high ranking, right? We're talking all around the world. Not just the CEOs or bankers, but, you know, the politicians, royal families, etc. So now what's going on, they have all this evidence and they had it for a long time. And they have been using it, and they still do, to negotiate certain things. Maybe like tariffs or other things. I'm just saying, my way of thinking. And they still don't want fully to release this list and make it official. But it's kind of surprising to me, because I remember in 2020, when all of this stuff was coming up, coming out, I was hearing about this. That's how I was learning, you know, like very fast-paced learning experience. I'm sure I'm not the only one. For many of us who are watching, I'm sure you were on the same page. All of a sudden you were bombarded with all this stuff, and you had to connect your dots, and you thought your brain is going in every direction possible. But there was a list, and many of us have seen this list, right? We've seen the list. Now, how true this list is, it's another question, but I think a lot of names on that list are accurate, because for some reason it has been presented to a certain number of people. Like, we came across it. How did it happen that we came across it, right? So that was, let's say, about 5 years ago. But there are still people who have no idea what is this about. Do you know how many people hear about what is this Epstein list? What is this Epstein list? And now there is almost a push, a demand from the left side. Those who probably had zero involvement with him, maybe never heard about him, who want that list to be released because they believe that Trump is one of them. That's another story there, which I think is absolute BS here. But it's good. Let them believe that he's on the list, and they want this to be released. The thing is, if they release it now, they might still not achieve certain results or close certain situations if this will be released too soon. And even if it's not released, I think it's important that they are taking care of things that need to be taken care of first. And maybe that is not number one priority at this moment. I'm not saying it will never be released, but the pressure on it is enormous, which means people are starting to ask questions. And if it's released, and once it's released, I mean, nothing will really going to be easy, because you will see the governments literally falling apart. And this could be all around the world. So how you imagine this? I think it has to be done in stages. So my opinion is that he's still alive. I think he's still alive, Epstein. And I think, you know, he is meant to stay alive to the certain moment, because he is being used. He's useful. That's my opinion. All right. And I follow my intuition on that and my instinct. Now, something that is absolutely not confusing. It's a video that I will present to you about illegal migration between France and UK. Let's take a look. I'm not going to play this entire video for you, but this shows you from where those migrants come, in what condition they are, and how this agreement between France and UK as far as the legal migration looks like in real life.
So we've been tracking a group of migrants from the centre of Calais. Want to come to England? 3 different unmarked cars.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to follow from a distance on foot.
Dan, can hear voices over here. Are you planning to come to the UK? We have to ask questions and we have to find out the people that want to come to the UK.
Yeah, me,
So this is the centre of Calais. Main bit of water that goes down to the river, and this sort of area has also become, as you can see here, a camp. So this point would make sense to be here because this is right next to the train and bus station, which is the route out to the beaches. So obviously if you're stopping there, you can go at any time. How are you? Okay? Good, good. You speak English? No? You want to come to England? No? So this is quite interesting because normally central Calais, they did not allow this type of thing to happen. They didn't normally allow these camps to build up, but it looks like over time that's changed. So we've come to Calais bus station because in the past, this was the place where all the migrants used to gather up and take the free bus, because all the buses here are free, out to Sangat, which is one of the main large beaches where crossings are made. It looks like the police may be cracking down on that because we haven't seen as many migrants, but there are camps just dotted around here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump on the last bus and essentially go out and follow that route that they might be taking to see what we can spot. And we've got a couple of other people that will be following different routes in cars to see what we can find. I mean, look, we know it's going on. We just spoke to a guy just around the corner from here, and he told us that he was coming back and they were kind of working in shifts. So it might not be that they're kind of massing up and going as a big group anymore. It might just be that they're going in smaller groups.
Chcesz wygrać z bałaganem? Komfort zaczyna się od czystego.
Hi guys, how are you? Can I ask you what you're doing up here? Eating. Are you planning to come to the UK?
Yes.
Yes. You're going tomorrow on the boat. Waiting up here. Where are you guys from?
Iran.
Iran. What? Where?
Iran, Kuwait.
Kuwait. Okay. And why do you want to come to the UK? We're from the UK. Obviously, UK people are interested about people coming on the boats.
You ask me, you want to take future? You ask them people?
We're journalists. It's our job.
No, journalists are outside. No,
If you want to come to the UK, then we have to ask questions and we have to find out the people that want to come to the UK.
no.
You can't help me?
Why do you want to come on the boat and not on a plane or a different route?
Where's plane?
There's flights to the UK or a different way, because this is it's very dangerous out there, right?
In my country, every day is danger. War, fight.
Okay. But why not stay in France? France is also a safe country.
Not give me people.
They don't give you but why with the UK?
I'm from Palestine.
Okay.
Israel حرب.
Every
Okay.
family UK.
Everyone has family in the UK.
Yes.
Right.
I don't like France.
You don't like France? Well, what do they say about the UK that makes you want to go there? Work. Anything else?
My life in my country is danger. Me.
Yeah, but people will say in the UK we have lots of problems as well.
In my country, I'm very problem.
Okay.
Big problem.
In Kuwait?
No, Iran.
In Iran.
Yeah, me إعدام.
Why? What happened?
Dad. سياسة president. My dad in I don't سياسة president. سياسة.
Police Iranian problem.
I see. I see.
Israel is very dangerous. My Palestine or not here Palestine. Israel very dangerous. حرب سوي حرب.
Have you tried to go on the boats more than once? Is this the first time you try?
No. First time.
First time.
First police.
Okay. What did the police say when they stopped you up here? French police.
My boot.
Oh, they cut your boat before.
Yeah.
When the police stopped you in the car, what did they say?
Nothing. He say it's okay. Go.
Go. Okay. Did you spend a lot of money to come to the UK? Is it expensive to come to the UK? Yes. How much?
1,500.
Nicht 10. 2,000.
2,000, 1,000.
1,005. What?
How do you raise the money to pay for?
بقول لك انت بتحط المال فين؟
Family.
Family pays. Okay. Are you not worried about the debt? Guarantee.
Yeah.
Oh, right, they're a guarantor.
These people money guarantee, me guarantee, friends only guarantee.
It's only a guarantee.
Turkey.
Okay, in Turkey you had to give a guarantee and then you pay the debt when you get to UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We leave you. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Ciao,
Good
ciao.
night. Thank you.
So there you have it, everyone. That's one of the stories. What do you think? What do you think? Of course, this is a particular situation as far as they take boats. That's how they move themselves from one country to another. But, you know, it's hardly ever you see, in this case, any women, right? You just see young men. All of them were young. I mean, some of them had faces kind of covered. They didn't want to be in the camera. But mainly young men in most of the European countries. Isn't it interesting? So what do you think about this? Who is really doing this to Europe? Who is really intentionally creating this motion? Because this is deliberate and it has been going on for a long time. And what's going to happen with those women and children? I'm sure many of those men, they have families, right? Do you think they want to bring all of them to a new place? Are they really going to work in those countries? Or are they just going to stay in many of those nice hotels and get paid and have cell phones provided, food provided, clothing, shelter, like I just said? Let me know what you think. This is not just European Union. You see, this is UK as well. You know, this UK is not part of EU. We had Brexit, but it acts like EU, right? No difference, really. That's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. It makes you wonder, what was the big plan, and is this ever going to be stopped? Or if it's not stopped, what's going to happen to Europe? I will attach the links down below in the description box. Once again, if you are interested in precious metals, you can call them if you live in US and mention my name. If you buy a certain amount, maybe you receive a portion of silver for free. I'm still not sure how this works, but give it a try. And if you appreciate the content today, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, both free of charge, and leave the comments down below, also free of charge. And let me know what you think. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And if you want to support my work, you have Patreon, PayPal, and locals down below this video as well. Bye everyone, see you in another video.